So, magandang hapon po sa lahat. Welcome po na.
Welcome po. Hello po. So, sana magbukas din kayo ng inyong mga video para magkita-kita po tayo. Mga
Ayan,
camera. Yan.
Nasaan na tayo? Nasaan na sila? Ayan. Hello, Francel. Hi, Fitzken. And hello, Sam. Kuya Sam, Mark Anthony.
Ganda ng gitara ni Jezreel.
Nasaan na?
Yung profile pic niya.
Okay.
Huwag kayo mahiya. Open yung camera nyo.
Kuya CJ.
Oy. What's up?
So, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Welcome po sa ating
Good afternoon, everyone.
Paano magdevelop ng idea to innovation sa ministry. Ayun. So, marahil po kayo ay nagtataka, Tagalog. Hindi po talaga ako natural na ganito. Taga-Iloilo po ako. Pero na-influensyan po ako ng mga kasama ko sa Manila, sa mga nakasama ko po doon for 5 years. Dahil ako ay nagtrabaho doon for how many years din. Pero ako po ay nagagalak na makasama namin.
Tagalog na Tagalog
Tapos na pala yung Banong Wika, October na pala, pero sige lang. Merry Christmas pala sa inyong lahat. Ayan. So we would like to really thank you for choosing to be here this afternoon. Kasi live to live na conversation talaga to. And we are really blessed to have our guest speaker for this afternoon. So I would like to introduce my co-host, Kuya CJ.
CJ Felix nga pala. So yon, masaya rin ang pakiramdam ko ngayon kasi syempre nandito ulit tayo sa community na to. So sa mga hindi nakakaalam, follow and share nyo rin yung Indigitalks Philippines. So marami tayong matututunan dito at the same time, mag-grow tayo individually. So yeah, stay tuned lang. Huwag kayong maalis.
Kakapasok lang nila
Kakapasok nila.
Sige. So baka po kayo nagtataka, kami po ay Indigitalks Philippines. So ano po yung Indigitalks Philippines? So baka po nakita nyo itong logo na to kung saan-saan man or nakapunta kayo sa mga events namin or may na-meet kayo ng mga people na hindi matapos-tapos yung kwento nila in mixing missions and technology. So baka kami yung mga na-meet ninyo. So meron po kaming mga meetups everywhere. Well, nung hindi pa tayo na pandemic, so may mga meetups po tayo sa iba't ibang cities in the Philippines. May Pasig, meron din tayo sa Makati, meron din QC, Iloilo, Iligan, Cebu. So meron tayong hackathon. So ito yung mga napupuntahan nyo siguro for the past years na rin. Sixth year na this year. So baka po ay naghahanap kayo ng magagawa for a weekend. Please join us. So you can open indigit.us/hackwithme. Ayan. Or baka naging part din kayo ng digital outreach natin. So ito yung mga opportunities kung saan nakakapag-share tayo ng gospel online. Pwede na rin TikTok. Ngayon nag-explore kami ng iba't ibang mga paraan paano gawin yun. So yung mga TikTok opportunities na rin or kung ano man. Hindi pa namin natatry sa ano bang bago ngayon? Kumu? Hindi pa masyado. Pero may mga...
Kailangan mong kumanta ron. Kailangan mong kumanta.
Kumunta. Nice one. So, actually nag-umpisa din yung mga Indigitalks meetup sa isang Christian hackathon noong 2015. So, yung mga conversations na about tech and missions. So dito siya nag-start. So meron tayong nagpa-hack tayo nung time na yon para gumawa ng isang website for mission trips and even isang tawag namin follow-up kasi ito ay isang mobile app para sa follow-ups. Yon. And nasundan na ng maraming meetup, nag-umpisa siya sa Taguig. Kasi hindi ito pang techie nung time na yon, yung very first meetup natin. So ang theme niya is missions X tech. So anong itsura kapag minix natin yung missions and technology? So yung mga pumunta rito, iba't ibang tao, may mga teachers, may mga graphic artists, may mga missionary, may mga software developer at kung ano-ano pa. So tapos may mga projects din tayong mga nagawa, yung ISA app, which is isa to sa mga naging initiative para makapag-share tayo sa isang unreached people group in the southern part of the Philippines. So, ayan. So ito yung mga naging events natin. Hindi ko pa nalagay itong lahat-lahat, no. So pwede niyo pong tingnan yung mga pictures na to sa Indigitalks Philippines page. Pero ang pinaka-bottom line lang naman itong lahat is we want to bring the gospel where it needs to go. So hindi tayo about events, hindi tayo about projects, hindi lang din tayo about sa mga ganitong Indigitalks, pero we want to really bring the gospel where it needs to go. So parang mix tayo ng mga technologies So ang dinadagdag ko pa rito is we wanna bring the gospel where it needs to go by solving one problem at a time. So kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng mga ganitong equipping, kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng mga hackathon, kasi we want to break barriers nga in sharing the gospel. So yon. So welcome sa Indigitalks Philippines.
Mismo, welcome po sa inyong lahat.
So hopefully you will find the different steps, no? So hopefully you will be able to journey with us moving further sa mga bagay na gusto niyo pong gawin in your life as you heed God's calling for your life. Ayan.
Yep.
So with that, Kuya CJ, back to you.
Yes, so basically, nabigay sa akin yung pangalan na itong opportunity na to share syempre yung content, yung bakit ako nagstay dito sa Indigitus, ano. So basically, I'm a software developer for 10 years already. And then nakita ko yung more than 10 years actually. Nakita ko yung importance na ma-share mo yung technology, using technology, and then yung faith mo kay Lord. So nag-start ako dito sa Indigitus, I think 2016 if I'm not mistaken. So marami kaming mga pinagsamahan na nila. Nakita ko yung family na came from different churches and we have different personalities, pero pag nandun kami dun sa event, makikita mo para kaming magkakapatid lahat talaga. Yung makikita mo yung bonding doon, at the same time yung passion nila when it comes to technology and then sharing it to other people for free. So at the same time, marami ka pang matututunan na sa buhay ng bawat isa. So kung naghahanap kayo ng ganitong klaseng family na no judgment at all, at the same time makita niyo yung bonding na akala mo yung kahit bago ka parang isang dekada na kayo magkakilala. So ganun yung Indigitus family na binibuild natin, na kahit na katulad nitong pandemic, bihira lang kami magkita. Ako actually nung isang gabi lang kami nag-usap ni Jonah. Matagal din na panahon na hindi kami nakapagkwentuhan, pero ganun pa rin. So doon mo makikita yung pagiging family nitong Indigitus. At the same time, syempre Christ-centered yung ginagawa natin. So yung mga sinishare natin dito is hindi lang basta-basta. It's not about technology or what. Syempre yung faith natin sa bawat isa at kung ano yung makakatulong sa ministry, sa church, pati sa individual, especially yung ituturo ngayon ni Sir Kevin. Kung magagrasp nyo siya ng buong buo, ma-apply nyo siya sa buhay nyo, pwedeng mabago yung buhay nyo, perspective nyo sa pag-iisip patungkol sa mga bagay-bagay, and lahat, maraming mababago. So yun. So I hope magstay kayo, wag kayong maboring kasi hindi boring to. Especially yung gagawin natin is for the glory of the Lord, at the same time maraming magbe-benefit dito. Yun lang.
Sige po. So, thank you Kuya CJ. Ayan. So, it's really a privilege na nandito po kayo to be part of this event and to be being part of Indigitus. Yung nga, no, parang kung sa family, si Kuya CJ yung parang makulit na kuya. Parang ganon. Medyo pasaway pero caring. Yung mga ganon. Pero at the same time.
Maginoo pero medyo mabait.
Kulit. Ayan. So this afternoon, I would like us, it's a privilege for me to introduce yung ating speaker for this afternoon. So he is an IC Agile certified professional in Agile coaching and certified Scrum Master with 8 and more, no, na years of experience.
Grabe, no? Sipin
in serving
mo yun, no?
and coaching Agile teams. O nga eh.
Iko-coach tayo for free. So, ewan ko kung nandito kayo kanina, yung tinanong namin kung magkano yung nagastos niya eh. Isang training pa lang, $1,500. So, paki-compute na lang, times 45 nyo na lang, kunwari, kahit na times 50 ngayon. Para lang makuha niya to. Tapos, isi-share sa atin ng libre. 'Di ba? Grabe si Sir Kevin, no?
Yeah. Ang heart niya talaga heart niya rin talaga for missions and to be a part of what we do to make disciples. So,
God bless your heart, sir.
Yes, Sir Kevin. Hindi pa po ito appreciation part, ha? May talk pa po tayo. Ayan. So baka akala nyo, baka kailangan nyo magkaroon ng parang, kailangan talaga, nakapag-aral ako ng ComSci o kailangan talaga nakapag-aral ako ng engineering or baka kailangan kong munang kumuha ng 5-minute talk sa YouTube about Scrum. Okay lang po talaga kahit sino man po kayo. Mahal po namin kayo. Salamat sa pagpunta dito.
Kasi andyan na si Sir Kevin. Siya magtuturo sa atin nun.
Sa lahat ng yun. So, yun. So, let's welcome Sir Kevin Manansala.
Yes. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, CJ. Tindi nung build-up, no? But disclaimer lang, I will forward the thank you dun sa ginasto sa certification, no, to the companies that supported me. So yeah, thank you natin sa kanila yun. All right. Welcome everyone. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you are taking time this afternoon, no? Saturday, and you're here in the webinar to learn. And that's merong trainer and coach nun na from a Scrum Alliance na conference nun. He said that, the best way to measure engagement is just to invite people, and if they come, they're already committed to learning, or to spend time to get something from the meeting, so yeah, it's I'm very appreciative that you're here and you're attending this webinar. Gonna share my screen so we can get started. So yan, ito yung title nung webinar natin, paano ba magdevelop ng idea to innovation sa ministry. And it's more of a talk about product leadership. And you will get to know more about product leadership when we go through the presentation that I prepared for this one. All right. Okay. All right. Well, just a bit more information, something more about myself now. So I'm working currently right now as an Agile coach for the company called Ecom Engine. It's a US-based company, and I work from home. I work remotely. And Ecom Engine, it's a software as a service company. So we offer tools for Amazon sellers for their feedback management, for their inventory management, and sometimes automated pricing is one of the solutions that we offer. So something about my company. And then I'm also involved in the kids ministry of Saddleback Santa Rosa. We have this KSG, Kids Small Groups. I'm part of that what do you call that, event activity. It's the equivalent of having Bible study groups. This one catered for kids. So we prepare lessons every week for kids, and we do this online through Zoom. So part ako nun. And then just as an aside, I'm also an avid toy collector. So yan yung part nung toy collection ko, yung nasa right side. Yan. Naisip ko lang na isingit. Wala namang relevance talaga, pero it's my presentation. So yeah. Anyway, yes. So like what was said in the title, no, from idea to innovation. So it's a journey talaga, and we'll see how in the next slide we'll see how we can get started. And you start with a vision. All right. So ano ba ang vision? And we'll watch this video from YouTube. It's from SpaceX. All right. So watch natin ito. All right. That's it. So that was a video about the vision of SpaceX. All right. So I'd like to ask for participation from everyone here. If you could open a browser tab and enter yung address na to, slido.com, and then you can join this poll by entering yung number 694-688. And I would like, I would like to ask everyone to answer, how would you describe the SpaceX vision, the video that we just watched, with one word? And then as people are entering their answers, we will see a word cloud forming here. All right. Yes, ambitious. Yes. Very, very ambitious, no? Extraordinary, yes. Astonishing, far. Visionary, yes. As we have seen, no? As we have watched on the video, the vision that they have for SpaceX is that is basically telling us they want to colonize Mars. They're working towards colonization of Mars. They're making travel to Mars easy and repeatable. Boundless, yes. Beyond limit, no limit, yes. Yes. Would you guys say it's also inspirational, inspiring? The stuff of science fiction. It's imaginative. Right? Yeah, these are good words to describe yung napanood natin, no, the vision from SpaceX. And that's what the product vision should be. It's ambitious, it's imaginative, it's inspiring, and it pushes us outside the known limits that we have. That's how Steve Jobs, that's how Bill Gates, that's how Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, that's how these visionaries think. All right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you everyone for sharing your insights there. So that's how you start. That's how you start with your idea to innovation. You set your vision. You create a vision for your product. If you put it in the context here of what we're gonna discuss about product leadership, what do you want to provide to the world? Well, maybe not to the world. Okay, let's limit the context, but to your target users. What do you want to provide to them? And then, of course, you add your faith. Believe God. God will bless us. We align our vision to what we believe that God is God's purpose for us. All right. And then you go on a mission. And this is where the product development cycle comes in. So this is an image from Jeff Patton's product leadership course. And Jeff Patton is a very successful trainer of product leadership. Yun yung passion niya. Actually, what I want to show next is a visual from Jeff Patton himself. The image here shows the different activities in the product development cycle. There are 4 quadrants: sensing, focusing, product discovery, and then yung delivery na quadrant. All right. So here's a short overview from Jeff Patton. Let's watch this.
You'll learn the basic flow of product development. It starts with listening and learning from the customers you already have. Or if you're a startup and you don't yet have a product or customers, the customers you wished you had. You learn from them with face-to-face interaction and observation and data. Learning exposes lots of problems to solve and ideas for solving them. Too many, in fact. Here's where we need to talk about focus. Your organization's vision and strategy will help you weed out things that don't make sense. We'll talk about vision and strategy. We'll also talk about how to use target outcomes and OKRs, objectives and key results, to prioritize options. In fact, organizing your roadmaps around outcomes and OKRs will give you a better way to measure success. We'll also talk about budgeting time against your company's strategic goals, your product strategic goals, and tactical response. Every idea needs analysis and design to better understand what we could and should build. And since the sad truth about product development is that most of your ideas won't be good, because if all of our ideas were good, we would all be startup founders and millionaires and billionaires. But since most of our ideas aren't good, we'll talk about the ways that you expose your riskiest assumptions and construct small, focused tests that'll help you improve your idea or kill it before you waste too much time on it. All of this is discovery work. Now, when you have a capability that you're confident that you should be building, you'll have to figure out exactly what to build and how to release it. You'll need to build a release strategy that focuses on a series of small, successful releases, a series of small wins versus that one big bang release. And for each release, you'll need a development strategy that moves your focus to predictability and quality. All of these things make up effective product design and development, and we'll talk about all of them and how they all work together and how you and your team will do all of those things at the same time.
All right. Yes. So that's a quick overview of the product development cycle, which is what I mainly wanted to share today with you guys, is just talk about the different parts of the product development cycle in the hopes that it will guide you from taking an idea into developing a product that you can deliver to your target users and you can release to the world. The what do you call this? The goal for this webinar was to try to give the participants a better idea of what is product development, what is involved, what are the different activities that you do for product development. All right. Okay. So we'll start with the sensing quadrant. And basically the sense quadrant is for gathering your ideas and your opportunities. So you have, this activity here, the first one that I listed, review product metrics. You would have product metrics, you would have this data. If you already have an existing product out there being used, and you gather information from your users, how they're using your product, and then you use that to improve, to make changes and to do additional features perhaps for your product. So you have usage metrics on your product down to the feature level, and a subset of them are key performance indicators that you monitor and discuss routinely with your team. Very important is frequent customer contact. So who are your target users? That's a very important question for you to answer and to focus on. You cannot, meron, diba? It's always been said, you cannot please everyone. you have this specific niche, you have this specific group of users that you are targeting, and you interview them, you talk with them, you build domain knowledge, and you build empathy with your users through routine customer and user contact. Yes, it's challenging now because of the time of this pandemic, but there are technology, there is the internet that equips us with the capability to still do this. And then of course you reflect on what you've already released. Say you've already built a product, it's out there, it's being used. It's important to reflect on how it's going. Reflect on both the effort and the outcome of what you release. So the effort, you also consider the effort, the expenses that you made in building this product. And then also, did you achieve your target outcomes? So you improve, or you may also decide to remove underperforming product features, features that are not really being used because they just, it adds effort to your team to maintain those features, to keep them working. And then you should monitor technology health, monitor the health of the underlying code and technology. Of course, we're speaking about here software products. So monitor the health of underlying code and technology that your product is built on. And you routinely identify technical improvements that you can make, and also technical debt that you have to pay. So technical debts are those decisions that you make that, okay, I don't want to think about this problem right now. I can think about it the next time, but you have to remember to go back and see if that problem is affecting your product negatively. And if it is, then that is a debt that you have to pay. You have to address that. Of course, you do strategic research. You understand the market your product is in. Who are your competitors and what are the market trends telling you? So the team leverages the research when it supports your work. For example, if what is important to you at this period is growth, your organization should search for new types of customers or new problems to solve that your existing customers, have. So after the sense, ideally, you would have a list of ideas, a list of insights, and a list of opportunities. And the more, the better. Because out of those many ideas are the key things, the key insights that you would need to take to the next step, to the next phase of the product development cycle. And focus helps you select those ideas that are worth the effort, that are worth investing in. So what activities are part of the focus quadrant? So you have strategic product planning. So strategic plans describe how your organization will move towards its vision. So when we started, I said you should have your vision, because your vision will guide you in making the decisions and how you would want to develop your product. If you go outside the path that leads toward your vision, then that is, that will be an impediment to your progress. That will be an impediment to you reaching your goals. So your organization focuses product strategy on what customers and problems it will solve, what technologies it might apply to solve them, and how both customers and competitors might respond. All right. So as you can see, this is not a job for a single person. Like I think one of the fallacies that we have today is that yung product, it's only the product manager that is thinking about it. But in reality, it's not. You need input from everyone on your team. Or better yet, you have leadership from 3 key areas. Because there are 3 key questions that you are going to answer in order for your product to be successful. First, is it valuable? Does it provide value? So to answer this question, you need someone with the business intelligence, knows the market, knows what people want, knows how to talk with customers. And the next question is it usable? So you need to have someone that is an expert on yung tinatawag ngayon na UX, user experience. It's very important. And then, is it feasible? That is a question that can be identified by a person on your team. That is your go-to person for technical concerns. your technical leader, the technical leader in your group, that will help guide you. Okay, we have this idea. Can we do it? What technologies do we have? Right? So you need to focus. You need to be guided by your vision and product strategy. Otherwise, you will just grab anything that catches your attention, any idea that is great. Okay, let's do this. Let's try this. No, you have to be guided by your vision and product strategy. And the product strategy is more of what does your organization want to achieve? Like, do you want growth? Or do you want to introduce a new product? Or do you want to just be successful in maintaining your current product? So questions like that. You need to have metrics, target metrics, and you need OKRs, objectives and key results. This will guide you in what you want to achieve. And this will give you something to measure against with, to know if you are being successful with your efforts. And you look ahead 1 to 3 months, and this will guide your teams in the decisions that they make in prioritizing their activities and their work. Because you need to budget time. We only have 24 hours a day. Your organization and your team budgets time for strategic product improvements. You want to do everything that you think of, but you cannot. Responsive improvements based on routine measurement. It's very important. You measure and you check and you validate if you are being successful. And if not, then you might have to make the decision to stop what you're doing and think of something else. And you learn from your customers, and you learn from the effort that you do. And and with that, you will go to product discovery. Once you have your so from sensing, we collected this list of ideas, insights, and opportunities that you have. In the focus quadrant, you narrowed it down to what is aligned with your vision and what is aligned with your organization's strategy. And then from there, you take things into product discovery. So in product discovery, this is where you form hypotheses, and you what are your success metrics for a proposed solution. This is where you drill down and really think of the solution. We declare for a proposed solution, we declare specifically the customer, the target user, the need that we are focused on. What are we trying to solve for them? How we expect that they will use it so that they can get value, they can benefit from the product, and how our organization might benefit as a consequence. So what do we get from our users? And we identify metrics that will help us test during discovery and then measure this benefit after release. All right. You might wonder, what are some examples of metrics? Well, metrics can be as simple as, let's say you want to measure the interest to your product idea. So what do? Do you create the product already? No. You can do landing page tests, like what we have. If someone is trying to develop a new product, you create a page, you write what you want to do with your product, what your product offers, and then you have this call to action button saying, okay, I would like to subscribe. I would like to get more news about this product in the future when you develop it. And that's how you do a landing page test. So what you're trying to measure is the interest to your product, and what you will get is the number of people that actually signs up to get updates about your product that you're wanting to build. And you will see, okay, we have this many interested users. If it passes your expectation of how many will be interested, then you move forward and you see what you need to do next to build the product. So speaking of yung mga tests, the tests should be right size. So what do we mean by this? We expose assumptions, we expose risks, and we expose questions to our solution ideas. Maybe in building a software product, one of the assumptions or risks that we have is answering the question, what technology do we have available to us that we can build this, that we can provide this feature, that we can build this product. And so you form experiments, you do tests, and you test first those risky, the assumptions that are riskiest, the assumptions that if you get the answer to them, you will have a clear answer. Okay, do we go forward with our idea, or do we look for another idea? Our idea is some of the answers that you will get is that your idea is not good, your idea is not feasible, you cannot do this, and so you need to find another idea that you can work on. So we focus on the most important thing that we can learn about this product idea that we have. We identify the fastest and most effective way to test our assumptions or learn what we need to learn next. So you don't just, okay, I have an idea for a software that I want to build. Let me get my developer environment and start coding. No, you don't do that. Later, I will share a video of how if you guys have heard about the Google Design Sprint. So that's one way that you can easily and effectively test assumptions. So we'll see a video about that later. So some more, the test will help you know if you're spending time and money exploring the right ideas or the incorrect ideas. And then it also exposes the problems that you may have with your idea. Learning, you should have visible learning. So after each test, you should reflect on what you have learned from doing that. It's not just about achieving your target measurements. That's one part of it. That's a very important part of it. But you should also review and reflect on, okay, what have we learned when we were doing this? Did any of our assumptions or questions change after we have done this test? So were there, if you were wrong about some information that you have before you did the test, did it change your hypothesis? We track, you track what you learn and use it to change the problem or the solution hypothesis that you have. It can expose additional assumptions, additional risk, additional questions that you should be able to answer to make your product successful. Okay. Remember I said in product development, you have a lot of ideas, and not all of those ideas are good ones. So you have to be ready to either differ, not work on it now, or the worst case, kill ideas. So we routinely reflect on solutions for testing. If testing and evolving our solution doesn't increase our confidence in building this product at scale for more users, then we should routinely defer or kill ideas. It depends. If the cost of the solution is low and the risk to damaging our customers or reputation is low, we may choose to release and see how it goes. But sometimes you need to pull back the idea if it will just risk the failure for your organization, for your product. You should also have in your utility belt a variety of learning approaches. You should have a variety of tools that you can use to learn, to talk to your customers, to various ways of showing prototypes of your solutions and to get feedback about them. Like sometimes you would just perhaps make a PowerPoint prototype, just showing the sequence. Okay, if I click this button, this is the next screen, this is the information that is being displayed. It's a simple prototype to do. It doesn't require coding, but you can get feedback. That's the important thing. You get feedback from showing the prototype, and it will guide you to developing and working on the features that your customers really find valuable. All right. And of course, if you really have good technical people, you sometimes you build technology that allows you to rapidly create live data prototypes and use that to again get feedback about your idea. All right, and then this is not really the last step because it's a cycle. It's a continuous cycle. So this is the product. This is the fourth quadrant, the product delivery, and this is when you would really start to get your hands dirty, building out the solution and releasing it to your target users. So you should have predictable delivery. So given a reasonable description and visualization of or prototype of a solution, your development teams can reasonably predict the time it takes to build. So of course that is easier said than done, but if you get better at being able to estimate what you can do in a given time period, then you can have a more predictable delivery, and it will just it will show it will provide value to your customers. Where there is uncertainty, the development teams have strategies for identifying and addressing risk early in the development, and we use what we learn early to adjust our predictions and our solution to best hit deadlines. All right, the technology stack that you have selected should support both quality and speed. It should support fast testing and fast releases, and that's the what do you call this? That's the setting that we have in the software industry right now. Continuous testing, continuous delivery, continuous integration. We use automated regression testing to be reasonably confident that new functionality doesn't break existing functionality. Like, can you imagine? I'm sure you have your mobile phones, you have Facebook. Do you observe or do you note that is it like every other 2 days or every week there's a new Facebook update? Because this is how they're working. They're constantly gathering data, they're constantly looking at their metrics and seeing what they can improve. And they have their technology stack set up that they can frequently release improvements that they make on their products. All right. And they have set up automated testing so that they are confident that once they release or once they deliver a change in their product, once you get an update on your mobile phone, your app should still be working. All right. And then you go for small targeted releases also. You should have the ability for small targeted releases. You release production code. So production code is just another way of saying this. This is the actual product that the user is interacting with, that your users are interacting with. So you can release frequently. You can also target releases to a specific set of users that you have. Maybe you have categories of your users for your product, and you have the ability, okay, let's not release this to the general user base that we have. Let's just select this specific category for the user and have them test this feature first before we roll out a bigger release. So that will also make you successful in your product delivery. Match engineering rigor to scale. What does this mean? So when releasing smaller releases to learn to a small audience, we differ adding functionality to address a needed scale. So sometimes you develop solutions or you develop features, and then one thing that you worry about, okay, what will happen if our thousands of users interact with this feature? Will they break it? Will will it collapse? Will it is there gonna be lag? Is there gonna be response time? Just gonna be a defect or a bug in response time for our product. So you sometimes you don't want to invest in making the feature be useful to a bigger audience if you're not sure that that feature is valuable to your target users. So you don't scale at first, rather you want to test it in a smaller group of your users. So that's what this means, that in your product delivery you should have the ability to do that, to not invest in working to scale your solution to a bigger audience after you have verified that it is indeed valuable to a smaller set of users. All right. So that is it. That is the 4 quadrants of the product development cycle. And I know I've talked a lot. Don't worry. The slides are gonna be shared, and it comes with my notes about the different activities, so you can review that. And you could read more about it. That's what I want to encourage everyone to do. If you've taken down notes, and then if you review the slides later, and then you find a topic that you're really interested in, you could search for that topic and do additional readings. All right, and now we go back to the context of hashtag hack, the hackathon. The inspiration for this webinar is that I'm sorry, I'm not remembering the term that you have, Jonah, CJ, for the organizations that provide the idea during the hackathon.
Champions.
The champions. Okay, so the champions, they have these great ideas, and they need a bit more guidance in, what can we expect from the hackathon? What can we expect before the hackathon? What should we be thinking about? And then what happens next after the hackathon? So that has been the thoughts that inspired this presentation, and that's why I gave that overview about the product development cycle. And then here I'm gonna share a couple of activities that may happen before or during the hackathon. So this one, this is called an activity that is called the story mapping activity. We don't have the time this afternoon to really delve into all the intricacies and all the specifics of this activity, but I highly recommend that you look into story mapping. The basic principle is that you will form a story map of how you think your solution will be used by your target user. So you have a target user in mind, they have a problem, you have an idea for a solution for their problem. Okay, what are the steps that the user will do in interacting with your solution? So in the image here, that is the green, that's what the narrative flow is, or the backbone of the story map. And it's just, it's not really detailed yet on that level. If you go below the narrative flow, that is where you fill up, okay, what are the different scenarios that can happen when the user is doing this step? What are the different requirements? What are the different, for example, maybe you would also be putting in, okay, this is the screen prototype or the mock-up that the user will show here. As you go down the levels of the story map, it becomes more detailed. And what the story mapping exercise can do is give you a clear overview or a clear vision of the solution that you want to provide for your target user and how they're going to interact with it. And so you could also get input and feedback from your team if what you're doing makes sense. What is it usable? Is it feasible? And if you do this before the hackathon, and then you have this story map, this is a great conversation starter with the team that will work on trying to build a prototype of your solution. This will help you communicate with them your vision for the product that you have in mind. All right. Now, this is from Google Ventures Design Studio, and this will show, I think, what maybe not specifically what you will experience in the hackathon itself, but something similar to the effort of creating a prototype of your product idea. So let's watch this video.
Hi, I'm Jake with the Google Ventures Design Studio. Today I'm going to tell you about one of our projects. There are 4 of us at the design studio. That's me. Our job is to help the startups in the Google Ventures portfolio with product design. One of the ways we do that is a product design sprint. Here's the idea. Startups face a lot of important design challenges, from defining their product for the first time to improving conversion rates, but startups are small and the opportunities are big. So in a product design sprint, we grab our design chainmail and we get in there together. Here's an example. Custom-Made is one of our portfolio companies. They connect people who want a custom-made product with the craftsmen who can actually make it. For example, I wanted this custom monitor stand, and Custom-Made connected me with this guy, Tim Sway. Now, Tim is awesome. He helped me draw up plans, he found the right wood, he built it, and he shipped it to me. Check that out. That is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so back to our story. So Custom-Made was thinking about a big new feature. A lot of users got stuck when they had to describe their project. Take me, for example. I had to decide what kind of wood I wanted. Now, Tim knows everything about wood, but in my brain, it's more like this. So it was hard to fill out that form. Custom-Made had an idea to make this less daunting. What if users could collect photos to help describe their project? They called this concept the idea book. We decided to do a sprint together to design it, so Custom-Made flew out from Boston. We've got 5 days together. First, we want to understand as much as possible about the problem. Mike, the CEO, explains how the business works. We decide which metrics we should use to measure success. We review user research on the current product, what works, what doesn't work so well, and we check out products that solve similar problems. We write up a ton of notes, we diagram a user story, and we focus in on the part that's most important for the idea book. Next, we're going to come up with as many solutions as possible. We do this on paper so we can move really fast. Everybody gets in on this. The designers are doing stuff, the PM, the CEO, everybody's drawing things. We come up with dozens of designs. This is a super intense day. We're tired at the end, so we take a break. Then, after our break is over, we take another break. But then, after that break is over, we get back to business. It's time to decide which of those ideas are worth prototyping. So we start by voting with these sticker dots. And we put stickers all over the pages, and we're making this kind of a heat map of the best ideas. The best stuff starts to emerge. Because we've done all this on paper, we've been able to move super fast up to this point and keep everyone involved. Now we still have time to take those top ideas and make some wireframes. So we're adding more detail to the sketches, we're trying variations. Now we're ready to build a prototype. We need something that we can show to users, and we need it fast because we've posted an ad on Craigslist to recruit people for the studies. These people are going to come in and show up on the last day of our sprint, so we have to have something fast. We use Keynote to build a prototype. It takes about a day. It's simple, but it's going to be good enough to find out if we're on track. So the next day, 6 people will try our prototype, and we'll find out how we did. Our user research partner, Michael, watches as the users try out the prototype. This is what the prototype looks like in action. Users can click around, they can add photos to the idea book. Again, this is just a keynote deck, but it feels real enough to show users. Michael asked them questions to find out what they think. Anything can happen in a user study, but this time we're lucky. The design seems to make sense. We're on the right track. Users understand the new design much better than the existing site. But Michael has also found a bunch of potential improvements. So in 5 days, we've designed and tested the idea book. Next, we decide to do another quick sprint to make it better. So stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll use 2 new techniques to test our ideas. Thanks for watching.
All right. So I think that is something similar to what will happen in a hackathon. You have this idea, and then you have a team that's gonna try to come up with a prototype. And as you can see, some of the prototypes can be as simple as a paper prototype. I've seen videos of companies that they interacted with users with just having drawings of their screen on paper, and then when the user can point to the paper to mimic clicking or touching that part of the screen, and then they will put cutouts of what will happen to the interface, and just to simulate the user experience and to get feedback. And that's already a prototype. The value of the prototype is giving you answers to your questions about your ideas. Yeah, so what is next? Well, after this, I hope I was able to give you a good overview of the product development cycle. I highly encourage you to read more about the different topics that you see here on this slide. Again, this slide will be shared with you, the participants. And yeah, I hope you get something from this, that if you're gonna participate in the hackathon, that will help you. One of the key questions that was given to me even before this webinar happened, Jonah asked me. So she thinks that how can we do this? How can we do this when we're working remotely, when we're not gathering and the pandemic is going on? So there's a lot of online software solutions that you can use to help collaborate with one another. So I've come up here with a list of software tools that I frequently use. Wanted to highlight Mural, which is a very great tool for collaboration. But why not, or why would you just take my word for it without trying it? So let's give it a try. Okay, I have a Mural board here that we can play around with. Let me just I'm gonna share the link on the Zoom chat, and if you guys are interested, you could come in and join. All right, so I've pasted the link to in our Zoom chat here. Just click on that link, you'll be able to join the Mural. I will also share it on my screen here, so if others are not able to join the Mural itself, it's gonna be like that. You're gonna have the ability to create things that you want to post. The simplest way to post something is just double click anywhere on the Mural. It will create for you a sticky note, and all right, then you could, like, if for example here, what I have done here is this is an opportunity canvas. You use it to gather ideas, discuss ideas. So first, who are your users? What are the problems? What are your solution ideas? Imagine you're trying to do it with your group, with your team, and you just need to have a place like a virtual whiteboard where you can write things and share ideas. And then, all right, so you point out, okay, what can you say about this idea that you posted? Can you discuss it more? And then you can collaborate from there. And then Mural offers some frameworks that you can use. You could post images. I wanted to highlight it because it's I would think it's a very powerful collaboration tool. All right. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm about done here. All right, I'm about done here in my, yeah, there you go. My last slide is, of course, a Dilbert cartoon. All right, thank you, everyone, for listening. Jonah, CJ, I think we can open it up for questions.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kuya Kevin. So, everybody,
Welcome.
kumusta naman na po kayo? Okay, so our first question po, Kuya Kevin, and this is a very
Yes.
interesting one, no? So it's more of being able to apply na talaga. So ang
Yeah.
mga ating mga kasama dito very excited na paano nila ma-apply ito. So may
Yes.
question tayo. Paano po ang isang example ng idea na ito sa isang church ministry? How
Yeah.
were you able to apply it in your ministry sa Saddleback? As you mentioned a while ago, you're serving with Saddleback and with the
Yes.
yeah. So how does it look like po?
Great question. No, it's a question that I've been thinking of since last night when I when I was meditating on my presentation and preparing for this webinar. So I cannot give an actual example, real life example of how I applied this with Saddleback. To be honest, I only started serving in Saddleback last year during the pandemic. The Saddleback Kids ministry needed help, and then we're moving online, and our ministry director called us to serve me and my wife, and we answered it. In KSG, there hasn't really been an opportunity for me to think more of like developing something for that. But as I said earlier, I was pondering on the question that if I were to apply what I'm trying to share here in the ministry that I am volunteering for Saddleback Kids, I think I would start, as I said, with a vision of what I think will help, of what I want to build. And as I was thinking about it last night, I was thinking of my kids that are attending the kids small groups, the online weekend services of Saddleback Kids, and so some product ideas came into my mind, like how can we make learning more about Jesus, for example, learning the story of Jesus, how can we make it more engaging to kids? So I started with that question. And then what would be my vision? I think my vision would be kids, really enjoying experiencing the story of Jesus, and how can you do that these days? So I started delving into the specifics, and I'm just doing this in my mind. I'm listing down ideas and opportunities. So what do kids love to do these days? Well, they love to play with gadgets. They have their iPads, they have their mobile phones that they want to use. So why not make a mobile game? Okay, so mobile game idea. What will guide me? Okay, I want to share with them the story of Jesus. So maybe we could have like an interactive story app, build an interactive story app for kids that shows them what is written in the gospel, what was the experience of Jesus and the disciples, and they can click on it. There's some animation, maybe there are quizzes after a chapter, perhaps. There are quizzes that reinforces the main ideas and the main learnings that they should get. And that goes into again, product discovery and just testing it out. So maybe I would create just maybe Google Slides of the screens that they would see on their iPads, and what will happen if they click on this, what will happen if they click on that. And of course, I would have to discuss this with with people on the team, on the Saddleback Kids Ministry. What do you think of this idea? What you as a parent, would you want your kids to be doing this? And maybe I would also ask my kids, are you gonna be interested in this? So you're gathering input, you're gathering feedback, and you're having these conversations that will lead you to what you would hope would be the product delivery, and you start building out this app, you start coding, and you present this idea to a tech team, to a dev team, and then they put in the good work and they develop this app for you, and then you deliver it to kids.
Yeah, thanks.
So I guess in general, you would look at the product development cycle, and maybe you're at the quadrant of product discovery already. Maybe you have done sensing activities already. You are focused. You know your vision. You know your organization strategy, and you just want to try out solutions, try out tests that you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good, Kuya, to start thinking. I mean, that kind of framework of thinking is really helpful. Yun nga, no, na parang when I was hearing you, parang sabi ko, these are frames of thinking na hindi lang applicable also to software of like mobile development, pero it's also applicable to initiatives that you would like to do in your organization as well. So, yun. As I was sharing nga kanina, yung counterpart of the word product would also be mission initiatives that you'd like to do in your ministry. So it could be, you might be thinking about a webinar series. You might be thinking about, what else?
Events.
Facebook. Yeah, events, true. Facebook page na initiative.
Yeah.
But you don't stop there. Parang dun kasi lagi siya na-i-stuck na parang, pag kasi in-start ko siya, it looks like it doesn't work. Pero maganda po yung sinabi nyo kanina na dun sa video na we don't have good ideas. We have bad ideas. That's why we want to iterate. That's why we want to test them para malaman natin kung ano yung good idea. So, yun
And we don't stop. Pag halimbawang nag-fail, we don't stop kasi we innovate. Diba?
Yes.
Kung ano pa yung pwedeng improve, bakit nag-fail or what, continuous lang parate.
Yeah.
And when it comes to improving, syempre, kasama yung part yun sa personality change ng bawat isa rin para ma-improve.
Maganda yung sinabi mo, CJ, no, yung continuous improvement. Kasi sometimes we are paralyzed by the thought that if I develop a product, it has to be perfect. It has to be, it doesn't have defects, it doesn't have bugs, it doesn't have problems, but you will just, if you're thinking like that, you will just impede your progress and the opportunity, and put a limit to the opportunities that you may have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Maganda yung thought na nakuha ko from one of the lessons that we are having in our men's small group sa Saddleback. No, we are going through this learning series of faith-driven entrepreneurship. And then yung isang lesson doon is ni-note niya in the story of creation, God always says after each day, this is good. That what He has created is good. Hindi sinabi ni God, this is perfect. Wala nang kailangang gawin pa dito. Kasi 'di ba, ginive niya kay Adam yung responsibility to steward creation and to take care of it. So God created it to be good. And so when we think of, I have to make this perfect. I have to I have to really nail this and be it successful, you're just limiting yourself with that thinking.
Yeah. I have a question po na kay Kevin. Ako talaga, no?
Yes.
Hindi man lang for a friend, di ba? Pwede ko usually ganun. Asking for a friend, ganyan. Sige, sa akin, how would you say is parang kailan mo masasabi na, stop na to? Kasi you said kanina, di ba, na, this is one of the ways of thinking kung paano mo rin malalaman na your idea is not working. Na stop na to, scrap na talaga siya. Or masasabi mo na, hindi, pwede pa, may hope pa to. So, para hindi tayo ma-stuck dun sa, parang falling in love with your idea and pushing it kahit na all the world says no, parang ganun.
Yes. So, when you think about the experiments or the tests that you do, you have metrics, you have measurements, and part of that is saying that if we get this, for example, for this metric, if we get this number, then we are successful. If not, then we are not successful. Tapos pag hindi ka successful, dun mo iisipin na, it's a big probability that you have to kill that idea. That you have to face the reality that you failed in that, in meeting yung requirement na ikaw din yung nag-define. And itong metrics, itong measurements na to, again, this is not coming from just one person. Like if you're thinking that, okay, the product manager is the one that is defining this. No, it's the consensus of the whole product team, of everyone involved. If this target makes sense to them, then this is the target that we will shoot for. If not, then let's open it up for discussions. What do you think? What are your insights? What are your ideas?
Makes sense.
May follow-up question dito. How to kill ideas without regrets? So at the surface, no, it's hurtful. Ayoko. I don't want to let go of this idea because, well, as humans, that's only natural for us kasi parang inalagaan natin tong idea na to. I really believe that this will succeed, no? So in order for you to not live with regret in killing that idea, you look at the learnings that you gained. Kasi when you go back to the basic principle, how do you learn the most? When you are always correct, or when you are sometimes wrong, or when you are wrong? In what instance, in what scenario do you learn the most? When you are correct or when you are wrong? I would guess, I would be confident to say that, I personally have learned when I was wrong. That's it. That is, I learned more when I was wrong than.
Yeah. May isa pa pong follow-up question.
Yes. Oh, how to kill other people's idea without killing the relationship? Very good. It's a very good question. No? Kasi nga, as I said, when we invest time and effort in our ideas, we become married, we become attached to that idea. I think what I can recommend is, as you're going, this is a journey, this is a journey that you take as a team, and you make decisions as a team, and you take on risks as a team. You put on the time and the effort as a team. So every one of you is invested, and you're like from when you do that, you can avoid the idea of having that this person owns this particular idea, and if we kill this idea, we would it would be a frustration for this specific person. Parang hindi ganun yung thinking dapat. Ang mindset dapat is we build this product together. We have this idea. Para yun nga sabi, there's no I in team. Parang ang corny minsan, pero ganun, you all invest in it, and so it's not just a person taking the fall if we kill an idea.
Yep.
And as I said, marami yun. Like sa sensing part pa lang, madami yan. Madaming ideas yan from everyone. Everyone has a unique perspective. Everyone sees the world differently. So there are many ideas, there are many options. But as an organization, you just have one vision. Kaya yun yung importante sa vision. One very important key part of it is that it is inspiring. It's inspiring for the people in the organization. When you are a member of an organization and then you look at the vision or you read the vision of that organization and you have that, maybe meron din kayong video, no? Parang yung SpaceX, when you view that video of your vision, of your organization, from there, sasabihin mo, yes, this is what I want. I want to be with this organization. I want to help see this vision become a reality. Parang battle cry yun. Parang Avengers Assemble yun. Captain America yung vision.
Yun. That's right. Tsaka yung ano din nila, may isa din ako naalala na sinasabi ng mga teammates ko before na don't fall in love din with your idea. Kasi idea lang din siya. So, kasi mahirapan kang mag-edit, mahirapan kang parang what if hindi na pala siya mag-work, pero kailangan palitan yung mga certain aspects of the idea. Parang yun, it will hinder nga yung improvement.
Isa rin dyan is a personality development kasi kumbaga paano matatanggap yung pagpatay ng idea mo ng isang tao. So, kailangan mo rin as individual na matutunan paano tanggapin yun. Because it doesn't mean na, feeling mo syempre, sobrang driven ka. Ang ganda ng idea ko, alam ko, sobrang magbo-boom to. It so happen sinabi ng isang kagrupo mo or you're in the organization sinabi, mukhang mas okay to. Ikaw naman, self-pity ka na. Masyado ka na, parati na lang sila yung tama. May problema ka sa attitude.
Wala akong nagawang tama. Parang ganun.
Oo. Tapos, ang ganda-ganda ng idea ko ni scrap. Tapos, parang ganyan yung idea ko Yung mga ganun na bagay. So, there's something wrong with that person. Kasi hindi team player yun. Kasi gusto mo parating makita idea mo. Kaya nga team We're working as a team. Di ba? So, kanya-kanyang bigayan and then put into the table. And then, syempre, kung saan mag-glorify si Lord, yun. Pero once na-hurt ka, nung natanggal yung idea mo, it means there's something wrong in your heart. Hindi ka teachable heart.
Saka nakita nyo, di ba, dun sa video na pinersend ko or pinapanood ko kanina yung sa Google Design Ventures. Yung sa Google Design Spin nila, ang dami nilang, di ba, ang daming drawings, ang daming ideas, ang daming flows na ginawa, tapos nag-dot voting sila, di ba? So yun. So, 'di ba? Imagine mo kung hindi sila mature enough, nag-walk out na yung hindi nabotohan ng idea ng prototype. So, yeah, hindi ganoon kasi sabi nga nila, fail fast or fail hard.
Fail fast, learn early. Ayan.
Yep.
Sige, I think for the last question na po tayo. What biblical mindset can we attach to product development or understanding, stewardship or understanding to the people that we want to reach? Ayan.
Very
Malalim
nice
na question.
Oo. Yes.
Pwede ba ako magbigay?
Yeah, go ahead, CJ.
Siguro yung Proverbs 3:5-6. So, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. So, in all your ways, submit to Him and He will make your path straight. Kasi most of the time, we are very driven by our own passion, di ba? And own ideas. But sometimes, good intention makes bad result. So, kailangan natin i-consider yun. Ipag-pray natin, Lord, galing ba to sa'yo? So, when the time nga na sinasabi katulad kanina is patayin yung yung idea mo, hindi ka masasaktan kasi tanggap mo sa sarili mo na hindi lang ako para sa akin to, para sa lahat to.
Tapos natin na
So, yun, Proverbs 3-5. 6. Proverbs 3 verse 5
Ganda
to 6.
nga yan.
Yeah. Yeah. Kuya Kevin, may madadagdag pa po kayo before we end the Q&A portion?
Yes. I guess one answer that I have, what biblical mindset can we attach to product development? I would think of always yung the Great Commission from Jesus. Yung shinare niya with the disciples, with the apostles. Parang he shared with them yung vision niya that the good news will be shared with everyone in the world, with all nations, with everyone from all nations. Pero si Jesus mismo, hindi siya nagbigay ng specifics sa disciples at that time. Hindi niya sinabi na, ikaw Peter, ito gawin mo. Ikaw John, ito yung gawin mo. Sulat mo yung Gospel of John. O parang nag-share lang siya ng vision niya. And he entrusted yung sharing of the good news to his disciples. And I think when you venture into product development, it's something similar. Again, as I said, you start with a vision, and then it's about trusting and being open with the people that you work with, and having that belief that together you will accomplish the vision that you have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
given the fact na hindi perfect yung mga disciples na yun. Di ba? Pero yung tiwala ni Lord na binigay, solid, di ba?
Yeah. Thank you so much. So maraming
Okay.
salamat po, Kuya Kevin. And thank you so much,
Thank you.
everybody, for being engaging din. I can sense na it is really impactful, no? Or masyado lang talaga akong assuming. pero I feel like it has really been impactful po sa ating lahat. And
Hingi kang feedback, Jonah.
yes. So, with that said, no, sa nasabi ni Sir Kevin na feedback, I will be sending us yung feedback form later. Pero before that, I would like to acknowledge yung presence ng mga champions natin for this year's hack. We have Go Beyond. We have Aga and Franz from Go Beyond. So, mag-hello muna kayo dyan.
Hello,
and
Go
then-
Beyond. To
And
infinity and beyond.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Ayan. So,
Yo, what's up?
I'll be sharing to you some ito yung mga challenges natin for this year. So, I'd like us to take a look sa kanila para if gusto nyong samahan kami for this weekend, October 22 to 24, you are most welcome. So, meron tayong 3 local challenges. So, first would be entrepreneurship and innovation from Dream Bigger Ventures. So, they would like to raise awareness and onboard more Filipinos to advance cooperatives as mission in the Philippines. And second naman po yung Ablaze for the Nations. They would like to mobilize people to help reach unreached people groups. So, they would like to find ways to be able to do that through Filipinos and beyond. And then finally would be Go Beyond. How might we understand and represent Filipino young professionals to offer them opportunities in supporting them in their individual callings? So if meron po kayong gustong ma-solve dito or to help solve, join us this year in Hack Philippines. And with that, I would also like for us to fill up this feedback form kasi nga we would like to apply yung mga nasabi ni Kuya Kevin this afternoon. So I would like us to answer this form. Ito. So, was it helpful for you? Let us know. Kasi hindi namin mababasa ang inyong mga
Yes.
minds. So, I would like for us to answer this for a minute or 2. So, I'll give us time ngayon. Magkwentuhan muna kami ni CJ for a minute.
So I
Ayan.
hope meron silang natutunan At the same time, kita mo naman yung effort na ginawa ni Sir Mark. Ay, Sir Mark tuloy, sorry. Manansala sa Mark. Nabasa ko yung Mark
Sir
dito, Mark
Kevin.
Anthony. Nakatingin ako dun. Mark Anthony tuloy.
Naka-focus
Sir Kevin
ka dun.
Manansala, naka-focus tayo dun. Grabe yung yung kita mo yung wisdom, no? So, importante talaga yung matuto tayo We learn every day, di ba?
Yeah.
Grabe yung mga shinare niya based sa experience, di ba? Yung mga natutunan. So, try to imagine kung ganito yung mga buo natin dito sa Pilipinas na thinking, no? Although hindi natin ma-please ang lahat, pero kung ganyan yung mindset na sinishare mo, hindi mo tinatago yung specialty mo, yung galing mo, di ba?
Yes, specialty.
Grabe, no? Maganda yung mabubuo na community.
Jonah, while they're answering this, kung pwede natin bigyan ng chance si Carlo. I think Carlo, if you're still here, you wanted siya kasi sa chat na mag-share.
Ayan, yes. Ito pa po siya.
You want to share pa?
Ako ba yun?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Kevin.
Hello.
Best friend ko yung mama mo. Siya yung nag-invite sa akin. Okay. Kakapasok ko lang kasi katatapos na lang ng aming 3 days na conference. Naano lang ako doon sa kaninang tanong, yung although huling-huli ako dumating, yung tungkol doon sa pinag-uusapan nyo about yung killing, how to kill the idea without killing the person, mga ganun ba? No? Sabi mo nga, di ba, na bawat isa may gift, di ba? So, instead of killing the idea, why not embrace it, you know, para ma-appreciate naman yung gumawa nun kasi the fact that he's sharing his idea ay, ang kailangan lang doon na kung paano siya maililink mo doon sa kabuoang vision na maging part siya. Okay? So just like the Minister of Jesus, sabi mo nga, no, he just shared his vision. Tapos ngayon, ang dami, di ba? All throughout the centuries, may media ngayon, may computer na, pero we're still talking about itong ano, di ba? Kumbaga nag-i-evolve talaga, no? Pero isang kabuuan pa rin na we're sharing the gospel. So I think sa akin ito siguro yung may nag-share instead of using the word siguro na killing the idea, i-embrace mo siya tapos i-challenge mo yung idea na yon. Bakit siya, no? Challenge it by questions para lalong lumabas yung essence noon at siyempre lalabas din yung motivation by sharing the idea, di ba? No? So tapos capture the good thing and i-attach mo doon, i-graph mo doon sa kabuang vision para mas lalong lumawak yung tawag dito kasi doon nagsisimula yung mga innovations, no, sa mga products, di ba? Kung titingnan mo example natin, dati hindi man binibili yung panglinis sa tenga, no? Ginukuha lang yung palito ng posporo, lagyan natin ng konting bulak. Ngayon, makikita mo, meron ng yung pinakahuli kong nakita din, nag-evolve siya through the years, di ba? Tapos ngayon, makikita mo na may ilaw na sa loob. Ang hindi marunong gumamit noon, ay nakikita niya na yung something sa loob. So mga ganyan na klase, no? So I think that the fact that the person wanted to share that, siguro mas maganda kung yung leader mismo, very broad ang kanyang pananaw, tapos challenge the idea kung ano may contribution sa kabuuan rather than
Yes.
the idea itself.
I think that's a very good thought, Tito Kaloy. You know, thank you for sharing. And yes, for sure, yung mga as I explained dun sa product development cycle, one really important step is to taking into consideration talaga inputs and feedback from everyone on your team. Yeah. And yung maybe overkill yung killing the idea, pero I think that's a good thought that you shared, Tito Kaloy, that it's important to be open and really consider many ideas.
Thank you po.
All right, Jonah.
Yes. Thank you
Yes.
po. Tito Kaloy, nakitito na rin po. Thank you po, Sir Kevin. So, thank you so much, everybody. So, as always, no, Hack and even Indigitalks could be a place for you to get creative, to collaborate, and to even continue with the calling that God has put you in. So, this is the place to get started. So, thank you very much po. So, hope to see you on our next Indigitalks. And
Thank you very much.
we'll read your feedback and we'll send you the slides for this Indigitalks. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
God bless. God bless.
Bye po.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.